spending on big public works projects to make up the stimulus plan. Bernanke, who did not weigh in on the details of the evolving package, did make clear that such a recovery plan was needed as part of a broader, multi-pronged government response to combat the worst financial crisis to hit the U.S. and the global economy since the 1930s. He said, quote, "The incoming administration and Congress are currently discussing a substantial fiscal package that could provide a significant boost to economic activity." However, he went on to say, "In my view, fiscal actions are unlikely to promote a lasting recovery unless they're accompanied by strong measures to further stabilize and strengthen the financial system." Translation, more bank rescues. After his speech responding to questioning, he said exactly that. In Russia, we finally have seen resumption of gas supplies to Western Europe through the Ukraine. Gazprom, Russia's state-run energy provider, said today that it has sent its first 76 million cubic meters of gas through the pipeline. Experts say it could take between 24 and 36 hours for the gas pumped via the Ukraine to reach Europe, where about 15 European countries have been left without heating since exports were cut off last Wednesday. That's good news, obviously, because it's a very, very cold winter in Europe. Some seismic activity down in the south of Greece. An earthquake struck the southern part of the country this morning, rattling Crete and the Cycladic Islands, but causing no damage or injury. The USGS puts it at a 5.1. Quake struck at about 8:10 a.m. local time, had an epicenter about 220 miles southeast of Athens. It was actually about 70 miles east of the main city of Crete. It was felt most heavily there. And in Moscow, emergency officials say that a fire broke out during construction of an underground parking garage that ended up killing 7 workers. The garage was apparently being used as some sort of a dormitory facility for Tajik workers. All of those killed were Tajiks. They were construction workers. And at this point, they think that the death toll may, in fact, rise by several more. But apparently there is quite a housing shortage in Russia, and these people were sleeping in what was an unfinished open-air parking garage. Also in Russia, further to the west, in the Ingushetia province, an explosion ripped through a government building, killing at least 6 people. An initial investigation suggested a gas leak. However, there are possible terrorist causes that are being investigated. The blast struck at the headquarters of the regional bailiff service in Ingushetia's main city of Nazran. And out in Utah last night, a fire broke out at the Silver Eagle refinery in Woods Cross, Utah. 4 workers were seriously injured. The fire is at the desert. The fire is about 12 miles east of Salt Lake City. It's a privately owned refinery. It has a capacity of about 10,500 barrels of oil a day. And down in the southern Arabian Peninsula, there's unrest in Yemen. Yemeni hospital officials say that riot police wounded 5 demonstrators in the southern city of Aden when they opened fire to disperse thousands of protesting army veterans who were demanding their old jobs back. After the 1994 civil war in Yemen, many soldiers fled to neighboring Saudi Arabia, returning only when the Yemeni government issued an amnesty and promised to readmit them to the army, a promise that apparently has not been kept. Now here's some news that really will not be too much news to you, but it sort of validates what many of us feel. We'll pull up this first picture. This, of course, is a Hummer. We'll show you some other pictures in a second. However, an auto insurance solution provider said today that its research has found that owners of heavy sports utility vehicles actually get more traffic tickets than other car drivers. The San Francisco-based Quality Planning Company, which is an ISO subsidiary, said that its study shows that drivers of so-called aggressively styled SUVs such as Hummers are more frequent violators of the rules of the road. We'll bring these couple up now as we talk. The firm said that it finds a strong correlation between what people drive and how they drive. Drivers of high-performance vehicles are by no means in the lead when it comes to counting the top 10 most ticketed vehicles. Topping the company's list with the most violations was the Hummer. Hummer drivers were 4.6 times more likely to get a ticket as compared to the average for other car drivers. At the other end of the spectrum is the old standby, the pickup truck, and luxury sedans. Quality Planning, the company, said speculation why certain vehicles are ticketed more or less frequently is a subject of great debate. The firm said the driver behind the wheel of one vehicle may be eager to express his individuality, while another driver views his vehicle as nothing more than a way to get from point A to point B. The company cited commentary from the book A Nation on Wheels, The Automobile Culture in America, that said, quote, Hummer drivers feel like kings of the road because of their elevated driving position. As these statistics showed, the company said they are leading the pack when it comes to violating the law, which may reflect their driving attitude. The president of Quality Planning said the sense of power that Hummer drivers derive from their vehicle may be directly correlated with the number of violations they incur. Or maybe Hummer drivers, by virtue of their driving position so far off the road, are less likely to notice road hazards, signs, other drivers, and pedestrians. On the well-behaved vehicle list are those vehicles whose drivers' moving violations are well below average. Violations involving these car models appear to correlate positively with occupation and lifestyle. At the top of the best list is Jaguar, followed closely by the Buick Park Avenue. Such vehicles, said the company, are often driven by mature, experienced drivers who are more focused on comfort and driving experience than on personal expression. Quality Planning said that findings indicate that soccer moms and hard hat workers day in and day out are among the safest drivers in the road. I would have to say that any American who has ever been on a highway and has seen a Hummer whiz by you or a Jaguar whiz by you already knew what the result of this study was. The sad part is that if you drive a Hummer, you're charged the same for insurance as you would if you were driving a staid old Buick Park Avenue. That's something that maybe should be looked at. If we have any other breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. If not, thank you for watching.